Welcome back, everyone. This is our first time doing our new segment called Sustainable Servings. Now, we're here to teach you how to preserve some foods, and Brandi Duncan is here with me. She's usually behind the camera, but today she's in front of the camera, going to be our canning expert. Okay, so Brandi, what are we making today?
We are making Serrano pickles, and we're doing fridge pickles today. So this is like the easy version that pretty much anybody can do with almost no special tools. That you just need ingredients and jars.
All right, so we're gonna start by making the brine first. We've already cut up some of the pickles.
Yes. Okay, so for this we need our vinegar. This is just white vinegar. I think 5% acidity is like the recommended amount. We've got a few cloves of garlic here. These don't need to be like diced up.
You just took the question right out of my mouth. I was gonna ask you if you needed to dice it,
Yeah, I told you,
mince
it's simple.
Yeah.
We've got pickling salt. Pickling salt specifically isn't necessary, but it helps take away some of like the sediment that you find at the bottom of the jar sometimes. Just regular white sugar.
Oh, white sugar goes in this?
Yes. And coriander seeds.
Okay.
And then of course, dill for our dill pickles.
And how much,
And
you know,
these
is this
can actually go right in the jar if you want to.
Is this like to your own discretion, or are you following a specific recipe?
We'll have our recipe up here, but I feel like when it comes to seasoning with pickling or with canning in general, you can kind of do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing about making your own stuff, is that it can be whatever recipe you choose, and you can make it exactly how you want it to be.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. And then we need a spoon, so just one moment.
And how long have you been doing this?
I actually just started recently, but I have family members who've been doing it for like generations, so it's not completely new. So we're just gonna mix this up, and we'll leave this over here, and then we'll start cutting up some of our peppers.
Is there a special way that you need to cut the peppers? Like, why do you cut the pickles into 4 slices?
That's just so that the brine can seep in there, and also, I mean, it's like perfect snacking size in my opinion. So you can cut it thinner if you want to do that, or
if you want to do pickled
like.
chips, can you do that
Yeah,
too?
you can do pickled chips too.
Gotcha, okay.
And so I'm just going to cut the top off of these peppers here, and
that
then in half.
Okay.
All right. Squeeze.
Like that?
Perfect.
Oh my gosh, perfect.
See, very simple, very easy.
Yes. I feel like this is very low risk. I'm not scared that I'm going to cut myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And now there's a difference between pickling and canning, right?
There is. So pickling is just something you're doing with like vinegar and salt. Canning is like a whole process with a water bath, a hot water bath. It depends on the recipe and the acidity of the food, but depending on that recipe, you can do like pressure canning or just a hot water bath. I haven't done pressure canning myself just because I don't really have the equipment for it. But you know, if you have a pot and jars, you can do the hot water bath yourself.
But this is like the easier version of canning.
Yes.
No hot water required.
Exactly.
Should I just shove these in a...
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
And we can make them extra spicy if you want.
I love
know
extra
we're both
spicy.
spicy fans, so.
Yes, both big spice fans.
These are gonna go pretty hard, I think. I'm excited about it.
Okay.
And then we've got our pickles or
Now are you putting them in the same
cucumbers.
exact jar? Okay,
Yes.
perfect. And you could do this with
jar.
just about any vegetable, right? It doesn't have to be...
Yeah. A lot of people will do pickled onions.
I've seen pickled eggs, pickled beets. So is it really just the same exact, you know, ingredients and the same exact process?
It's just different.
Just different things that you're pickling.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right.
Here we go. Just kind of get as many as we can in there. Some of them are a little too tall, but we'll just smash it down. It'll be fine.
Cut them in half or something.
Here we go.
And then once you pickle them, how long do they stay good for?
Technically, food safety wise, about a month for fridge pickles. In my house, they stay until they're finished. So
That's how mine go too.
that is not a technical recommendation.
Exactly.
So
That's just up to my own discretion.
yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm just gonna throw a couple of these. Oh, good, that's awesome. Throw a couple on the counter.
That's why we have the
just for
cutting
good
board
measure.
here. That's actually part of the recipe.
It
You gotta
is,
make sure it gets all over the
yeah.
counter before you do anything.
And if you can, spill some on the ground too.
Oh, that's perfect.
You know, that's the pro move.
And you would know because you're a pro.
That's right. So we just fill this guy up.
You know what I always think about? Well, do you do anything with the leftover juice once you're done with it? Or the leftover brine, I guess is the technical term.
So I know we have an executive producer here who actually has requested that I give him any extra juice that I have.
Okay.
Because he drinks it in the summertime, it's really hydrating because the salt gives you electrolytes.
Yes, I've heard that before. But you know where my mind went? You could probably make a really, really good like pickletini or something.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So not only do you get to enjoy pickles, you can have a really nice adult beverage afterward too.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
Typically you want it to be filled up to the top, but I have a feeling once we smash these down,
Gotcha.
it'll be close enough.
Okay. Let me get ready to smash.
Full force strength here.
So how long do they need to be in the fridge before you can eat them?
So for the ones that are, and we'll shake them up a little bit too. For the ones that are just like fridge pickled, I recommend like a week or so. But if you do like the hot water bath or pressure canning, usually because it's hot, it seeps in better. You could have those like within the same day probably,
Oh,
or
really?
within a few days.
So you said a week, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was so busy shaking
1
the
week.
pickles. I totally
Yeah.
like tuned you out.
Perfect. And so that's just us mixing up our stuff a little bit. And now we're done.
Perfect.
Just pop them in the fridge. Ta-da.
All right, so we'll come back in a week and then we'll try them.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Brandi.
Thank you.